Welcome, Vigor Warriors. We're back with another episode of Vigor Warriors 2. I'm drinking my green tea here and put it down for a second. So, this channel is dedicated to the benefit health for people in all ages, but primarily ages between 50 and 80, 90 years old, to try and make sure you're more prosperous, you're more successful, those things. And it's for males and females. Because I'm a male, obviously I focus on a lot of male issues, but I'm always happy to focus, and then I'll have to get information, obviously, from people like my wife and my kids, my daughters. If there's female types of things that you kind of want to bring into it, it mix as well. And thank you for all this people who subscribe and all the people who are making comments. Go ahead and please like, subscribe, those type of things. Focus on different suggestions. I'm probably going to do a few book reviews as well. Melanie gave me a good book review to look at. I also want to take a look at the Think and Grow Rich book, The Fountain of Youth. A lot of these type of things I'm going to bring into our discussions to kind of get health benefits and other types of benefits for you to be successful. So the topic for this one, and once again, I appreciate comments because this comes from a comment from one of our viewers, is the idea of fasting. Now, fasting is something I've done for a long time. I've done different types of fasting. I've had fasting for 40 days. I did that when I was younger because I had Lent, and so I stayed away from everything except liquids, and that was a very learning, interesting experience. There was some good and some bad to some of that. And then as time has gone on, I've also done some fasting at times, a day here, maybe a couple days there. But I have found that it wasn't as beneficial until I got on this journey. And once I've had the retention journey, then all of a sudden it felt 10 times better. And I think one of the things that's important to realize is that you will see a lot of changes. For instance, you'll see my beard is growing. Again, I'm going to start growing my beards. I had my beard, as you can tell by the picture in my channel picture, that I had the beard when I first started the journey, and then all of a sudden I stopped it in June because it was getting too hot, and now I'm bringing it back again. But that's one of the benefits, that your hair will start growing stronger in yourself because testosterone is going to be higher because you're keeping in your energy. But when it comes to the other benefit that I saw, and that was a big benefit of self-control. And so self-control, then you're using self-control to transfer that to other behaviors. And so once I started doing this, I felt like I wanted to kind of experience a lot of the benefits and just become stronger in my growth and my development. And so that's when I started looking at food and nutrition, and I started looking at weightlifting and exercising again, which I hadn't done for 30 some years because it didn't seem like it was that important to me. But it gave me the motivation and energy to kind of do a lot more with myself than I was doing when I was at 57, 58 years old. So because of that, then I started looking stronger into this idea of fasting. And so what I do now is I do an intermittent fast. I fast between, I take 16 hours each day, and I do it from 8 o'clock to 12 the next day. I do that for a lot of reasons. One of the reasons I was gaining weight during my periods of time is because I was eating late at night. I would teach a class, I'd come home at 9:30, 10 o'clock, and I would be eating before bed. Well, besides, giving me a lot of, craziness and dreams and nightmares and things like that at night, having food in your stomach is not a great thing. You want to make sure that food goes through. So now I'm back to, drinking tea in the morning and at night, and also drinking water, which is another topic we'll talk about later on. But those type of things are important because it gets your body, water in your system keeps getting that system through. And so the weight's not going to stay on you, and especially if you're not eating all day long. I had friends of mine who I played football with who, at 20 years old were phenomenal shape, much better than I was. And now you see them now, and unfortunately, because they have a lot more calorie intake than I'll take, they're having health problems, and a lot of that, goes back to being overweight and things like that. So we have to kind of watch as time goes on, especially for people who are a little bit older like I am. Watch what you're taking in, because if you're eating too much, and you're not expending as much, you could have a lot more health, problems than you expect. So the fasting part benefits me at night and also in the morning. Now I know there's a lot of people who say, well, breakfast is the most important meal, and it is. There's times I will have a cheat day here and there and have a breakfast, but for the most part, it's kind of gotten me have a lot more energy in the morning, and I keep going through and doing things, and by noon I'm able to have a small type of lunch. The key, guys, is as I'm getting older to eat less, more nutritional food, but eating less. Not having a lot of that pop. I stayed away from the pop. I used to drink a lot of pop. I stay away from the chips and all kinds of the carb. And as I did with the keto one before that, I try to do keto as well. So I try to stay off of the carbs as much as possible. And so the fasting helps me in a lot of that. And so as the fasting goes on, what I do is I go and eat until I eat between 12 and then 8. Now I only take a couple meals in between there. I do a meal maybe at 3 o'clock, and I do a little bit of meal at 5 or 6 o'clock, and then I end up stopping, and I do a lot more liquids. So I drink a lot more liquids than I used to, and I've seen a big difference with that. And I think in combination with all the types of things you're doing with your program and you're exercising, weightlifting, and doing all the other types of things, it's important. Now I fast as well because of the spiritual meditation prayer type of thing that I do. And that's more an individual type choice on your half, but that's something else that's a benefit to me. So those type of reasons why I do that. I'm more clear in my thoughts and things that I'm doing, and I'm able to focus better if I don't have a lot of food in my system. And I learned this a lot one time I was sick, and this was years ago. But I realized that if you have a cold and you're sick, and you're eating a lot, I actually didn't feel better. The best thing that I was told at the time is not to eat a lot, drink liquids, because then it flushes you right out of your system. If you're eating too much food, your system has to not only digest the food, but try to combat the cold or whatever else you had. And so I think fasting has helped me when it comes to those type of things, because I have not been sick in a long, long time. And I just don't have that type of mentality anymore. Now there's going to be times I probably will, but who knows? But it's been a long time, and I just feel like the fasting is a big part of it, because a lot of that food doesn't sit in my system too long. With the water and things that I'm having, it kind of goes through the system faster. Okay. Now we're going to talk later in different episodes about the types of food and the energy foods you should be having. It's almost like a car. You want to be a Ferrari and not just a clunker, and put the right type of food in your system. But there's times to eat, and there's times not to eat. And in my case, eating late at night was really a problem. I've seen that with lots of people. Okay. So I'm going to stop at this point, but remember, fasting teaches you a lot more self-control. It's a big weapon when it comes to these vampires and the succubuses and the zombies. If you don't allow things to control you, like eating habits is one of them, then you're able to control other things as well. And that's important. Okay. So once again, please subscribe, comment, like. If there's other types of issues you want to talk about related to fasting, related to other types of things, I'm happy to do so. Just shoot me a question, and I'm happy to help you in any way I can. So have a great day, and battle on.